Can take it anymore. I hope the world is listening to my plight. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Yeah. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, the song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Yeah. Freedom for Biafra, freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa. Jewish mix.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, our Oduduwa brethren, even those from the Middle Belt who have now risen up to seek their self-determination. I welcome each and every one of you to this very special, very, very special broadcast on this very day, Sunday, the 16th of May in the year of the Most High Elohim, 2021. The time now is exactly 4 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra. If you look at your timepiece, it is exactly 4 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. We are live and we are direct, and the whole world is listening. And Chukwu Kikabiyama in heaven is bearing us witness, because we have come to preach the gospel that only him mandated must be preached to the sons of men. As always, since I am welcoming you, please welcome other people as well, because there will not be a repeat of this type of broadcast ever again. It is only one in a million. Everybody must endeavor to listen very, very attentively. If you don't have your pen and your paper with you, I will even excuse you to try and get them. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of you who are listening, regardless of where you're domiciled. And as always, we are multicasting this very broadcast on a whole host of platforms. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook, believe it or not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some people don't believe it's mine, but it is. If you go there, you will be able to listen, not on the page, because Facebook will allow me to broadcast or stream this very content live on my Facebook page. If you go to Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu. Some of you know it. It is real, it is mine. If you go there, you should be able to listen. It is not a fan page, it's just an ordinary profile, an ordinary page. If you go there, you should be able to listen to us. This very evening, we are on app, IPOB Community Radio. We are on Radio Biafra app. We are, if you want to listen to us, you should and must be able to listen to us as long as you are in possession of an internet-enabled device. We are on satellite, we are on FM. Basically, we are everywhere. And I can assure you that the whole world is listening this evening, as they always do. And we are going to pray very, very shortly. My name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, all over this very planet Earth. The director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And by the very special grace of Almighty Creator in heaven, Shaddai, I will now and forever remain a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. A very special race, a very special breed, the children of the Most High, the sons of light, the daughters of enlightenment. I welcome each and every one of you. I'm going to pray very, very briefly that we may commence what we have in store for you this evening. It will take us about 2 hours, or roughly 2 hours and a few minutes, give or take, either side, to bring to you what we have for you this very evening. Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Anyị kwere gị nkwa sị na nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị nke ọma ma anyị kelee gị. Na ndụ ndị a niile ejiwe na-achụrụ gị aja onye nwe m n'oge erule mgbe ị ga-emejupụta nkwa nke ikwere ndị gị. N'oge ahụ bụ ugbu a. N'ihi na ị gbara anyị aka ama oge gara aga tupu ụmụ mmadụ wee si n'isi ha nọ wee hụ ụzọ. Tupu ndị nọrọ ọrụ wee kunie iziri anyị ozi na mmụọ si anyị n'oge ga-abịa mgbe ndị Fulani ga-abata ala nsọ gị. Na ha ga-ememile ụmụ mmadụ. Na ha ga-egbu ndị mmadụ. Mgbe na-ebe akwa wee na-eti mkpu n'ime nrọ mgbe m na-akpọkwu aha nsọ gị. Nsị gị onye dị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị bụ gịnị ka anyị ga-eme? Ụmụ okwu nke gwara m nke m ziri ndị dị ndụ nna nke bere dị ngọzi sị m na ha ga-egbu anyị, anyị onwe anyị ga-egbukwa ha n'ikpeta m azụ na anyị ga-enwe nwere onwe. Ọ bụ ihe anyị na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi. N'ihi na anyị agaghị ahapụ gị wee fee arụsị ma ọ bụ fee nghọta nke mmadụ dị ndụ. Ọ bụ ya mere anyị n'ala nsọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka anyị nwe arọ Chukwu ndị nsọ. Ọ bụ na ala nsọ gị ka enwe ndị a na-akpọ ụmụ Chukwu. Ọ bụ na ala nsọ gị ka enwe ndị a na-akpọ ụmụ ala igwe, the children of the kingdom of heaven in Enugu State. Enwe ebe a na-akpọ ụmụ ala igwe, the children of the kingdom of heaven, a name that came before white people even brought their Bible to us. We answer ụmụ Chukwu, we answer Obasi, we answer Tamuno. These are your names, but these are also the names that we bear to say that the time has come for you to come down from heaven, that thy will upon the lives of your children may be done in our lifetime. And that time has come, and it is Biafra. Because you told me that they will invade our land, and that invasion has commenced. They have come, as you promised me. So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. But after that, Biafra shall be restored. We want to be alive in the land of the living to give your name praise, adoration, adulation, exaltation, and glory. Because Biafra is yours. Now and forevermore we pray. He said. Very many years ago I told you something that has come to light this very day. That in time to come, that the Janjaweed will come into our land. And they have come. The funniest thing is that they did not just come into our land, they are also in Yoruba land as we speak. And I'm sure that the revelations I have to make this evening, the zoo will be astonished. I'm even sure that the British intelligence services do not have what we have in our possession this very evening. And I'm sure that the Fulani Janjaweed who are in control of Abubakar Yusuf Mohammed, the idiot from Niger Republic wearing Buhari mask, do not even know what I'm talking about. But this evening, the zoo will be shocked to understand that there is nothing they do, there is no move they make that we are not aware of. But first of all, I'm going to start with an article that I saw in one of the online newspapers in the zoo. It's from Sahara Reporters. And I was absolutely astonished when I saw it, because I didn't quite believe that they were capable of publishing such a material. We are living in very strange times, I can assure you. I never believed that they are capable of publishing this, but I'm going to read it for you by way of a preamble to build the foundation upon which our discourse this evening is going to rest. That is why I said I'm going to speak very slowly so that you can understand every single word, every single syllable that I pronounce, because this very broadcast will not be like any other, I assure you. Your pen and paper must be very close to you. And I want you to understand as soon as we finish this very program, I want it to be put on MP3 and distributed all over the world as you normally do. I want it on SoundCloud. I want this very program this evening to go far and wide. This could be your morning or your afternoon, but from where I am, it is evening. So you must allow me or excuse me when I make reference to the time that we are in, which is evening, here that I am at this precise moment. This article, the headline is Stop Calling Eastern Security Network a Terrorist Group by Adebayo Raphael, published by Sahara Reporters. And I'm going to read it, please, if you bear with me. The Nigeria that Buhari desperately desires is one in which all Nigerians practice fatalism. The day we all become fatalists in the face of the mighty oppression and injustice happening under Buhari's regime is the day we stop being free. In other words, there is an acknowledgement by this very writer that we are living under a regime of terror and bondage. The only mistake he made was to refer to it as a Buhari regime. It is not. It is an organized Fulani banditry regime. Fulani Caliphate is in charge of everybody right now in the zoo as we speak. But what troubles me is that they have managed to get into the minds of the people. Not into the minds of IPOB, of course. Heaven forbid. They have now managed to get into the minds of the people. And that is why they are able to wreak havoc. And I want everybody, those of you from the Middle Belt, those of you from the South, those of you who are still in support of one Nigeria, I want you to understand what is to come. As a result of your foolishness and your stupidity, you are handing over your land to Fulani people, and I'm going to prove it to you this very evening. This very brilliant writer, Adebayo Raphael, went on to say that the news mediums reporting ESN as a terrorist group are doing a great disservice to the Nigerian people. Do you understand this very clearly? There are some media houses, some newspapers and all the rest of them trying as much as they can, of course, with very limited success to tag Eastern Security Network a terrorist group. And why are they trying to do that? Why do you think they want to tag ESN a terrorist group? Not Fulani bandits, no, not Miet Yala, not at all. Not those killing, raping, pillaging, and sacking towns and villages. Not at all. Not those that have renamed some villages in Benue State into Fulani names. No, they're not terrorists. It is ESN. Why? Ask yourself that simple question. Because Eastern Security Network is on record as being the only people to drive away Miet Yala from any state in the entire Nigeria. We drove Miet Yala away from Ebonyi State. After 4 years of war, 4 good years of war, they ran away from Ebonyi State. That is why they have now gone to go and bring in their big guns, their big brothers. But we're going to face them and we shall defeat them. Miet Yala was in Ebonyi State as a fully fledged, functioning, Fulani-sponsored terror group. Even your so-called presidency said in the public that they are legitimate stakeholders in the government. In other words, what is happening in Nigeria today is an organized Fulani banditry. But some of you in the South are too stupid. You are too useless. You are too hopeless. You are too idiotic to see what Fulanis are doing to you. But it's going to happen. Because before I came on air this evening, I had confirmation that they are now in Lagos. That was what they were trying to cleverly disguise as IPOB attack on Lagos. I want to let you understand. If I tell the terror group in Lagos, you will marvel. But we know we have their intel, and I'm going to give it to you this evening as we proceed. They are trying to get you to tag ESN a terrorist group. Why? Because we defeated Miyetti Yala in the East. We rendered them useless. It was because of the work that Eastern Security did in the past, is doing now, and will continue to do. That is the reason why the Southern governors came together in Asaba only last week to announce a ban on open grazing, to try for the very first time in their lives to confront head-on this Fulani Islamic hegemony as a result of the bravery and sacrifice of Eastern Security Network men and women. Without ESN, by now all of you would have been, it would have been over for all of you. By now, without this IPOB, all of you would have been gone. You see, I told you before that there is a method to our madness. We proceed very, very gingerly and cautiously, trying to take our people with us every step of the way, but above all, their understanding of the very perilous times that we're living in. These are the things you must calm down to educate yourself, because sometimes our people are always in a hurry. They're always in a hurry. In the process, they fail to factor in every variable that will enable them, or that should enable them to understand the tactics of the enemy. Most of you don't understand the way the Fulanis operate, but we do. That is why we have been able to predict every of their move. This very person is telling us that anybody saying that ESN is a terrorist group wants you to become weak, wants you to become the oppressed inside Nigeria. What IPOB is doing is to defy oppression, is to confront evil face to face. We have paid very dearly for it, and we are still paying for it. But the sacrifices we are making is to ensure that the generations to come after us cannot endure this level of oppression, this level of humiliation. Now listen to me very carefully. What the Fulanis are doing, according to this writer, Debayo Raphael, by attempting to tag ESN a terrorist group, is to tell every Nigerian that you can never be free. That freedom means being targeted and killed by the Nigerian state. He went on to say, but I reject that. We cannot be free and not be free. In other words, if you decide to cage the people, they must rise up one day to agitate. He went on to remind us very, very simply that on 30th of May 2016, about 1,000 women, men, and children were peacefully marching to commemorate the killing of roughly, he said 2 million, of course, it's not 2 million, it's 5 million Biafrans that were killed between 1967 and 1970 by the Nigerian state and their British allies. They were on the receiving end of a very terrible, inhumane terrorist blitzkrieg, that was what they called it, by the Nigerian security forces under the malfeasant orders of Buhari at that time when he was still alive. On that very day, a report by which all of you have, all forgotten, of course. A report by Amnesty International confirmed that no less than 150 peaceful Biafran commemorators were shot and killed. At least 70 of them injured as a result of attacks over 2 days by Nigerian army and police. All of you have all forgotten because you are black people. He went on to enumerate that this series of massacre of IPOB people were intended to put fear into us. They were intended to make us bow before the Fulani Caliphate, so that others may become amenable to the rule of the Janjaweed. But because IPOB stood strong despite all the things that we went through, that is the reason why people, especially from the south and to an extent from the north, from the middle belt, are now beginning to rise up to say that enough is enough due to all those sacrifices. My father went into it as well and was sacrificed. So was my mother. My men died defending me in my house. This very article went on to enumerate in great detail every illegal activity brought upon the people of Biafra by the Nigerian state that some of you seem to have forgotten. He went on to say that no Nigerians signed a contract of human rights violations and enforced disappearances. They are kidnapping people today, selling their parts to the Chinese. In other words, if you go to China now and you order penis wonton soup, you will see the penis of young men from Biafra land in your bowl of wonton soup in China. Right now as we speak, the kidnapping, the disappearances are going on, nobody's talking. Any day we react to it, all of you fools from the south and to an extent from the middle belt will be shouting and writing your usual rubbish. Now that extrajudicial disappearances and enforced killings are going on, now, right now, in our land, nobody's talking. The day we react, all of you will start jumping up and down. And I will come to the brain of the black man later on, because I have something in store for you this evening, at least to help clear up all those cobwebs that makes you, or should I say, predisposed to stupidity and mind control by people you should be controlling instead. The Fulanis have come to take over our land, and we have said to them that they're not going to do it. We are not going to allow them to do it, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And the sooner they understand this, the better for everybody. Because one thing that the Janjaweed must bear in mind is this, is that this very generation of IPOB, we're not going to allow it. And I want, you can call me a terrorist, you can write all the junk you like. See, the Fulanis are very clever. Before they came, they used to rely on Yoruba media houses to do the dirty work for them. But as the Yoruba media houses were doing the dirty work for them, and of course some Igbo media houses as well, like Sun newspaper, they went back and created their own. Some of you didn't know there was a newspaper called the New Nigerian Newspaper in those days, trying to trumpet the position of the North, or should I say the Arewa core Sharia North. Today they have the Daily Trust and they have Premium Times doing a very beautiful job for them. Their job is to assuage you. They are the ones that will come and inflict injury and pain on you. They are the ones telling you, oh, don't worry, it will be better, you will get healed. They will never tell you that the person beating you will ever stop beating you. No, they will tell you, oh, don't worry, it's not only pain. After a while, you get over it. I want the likes of all Joseph Carlo, all these Fulefus to understand what I'm saying this evening. You people have placed our lives in danger. Because of you, that is why all these killings are going on all over the place by the Fulani. Because of you, those of them in the West like Tinubu, Obasanjo, and all the rest of the fools over there. Because of you, that is why this evening, as I'm right here on air preaching, Yoruba people are paying ransom to go to their farms to go and farm in Yoruba land. The media will not report it. The same way they will not report how many soldiers they have lost so far. That is their new game plan. But in Biafra land, they will keep dying. That I assure them. Kidnap all you like. Intimidate all you like. Oppress all you like. But let me tell you something you don't quite understand. We are involved in a nationalist pursuit. We are pursuing the freedom of our land. And it can never stop. I want Fulani to understand this very clearly. Understand it very, very clearly. We are not going to stop. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. If you have come to our land to kill us, you are going to die there. That I can assure you. I am not perturbed by the tag of terrorism, by the tag of you're proscribed, the proscribed, outlawed IPOB, a human being in Nigeria who is suffering, a journalist who is suffering, a media house that understands the pain, the suffering, the anguish, the torments that the people are going through every day is starting this junk on a daily basis. And the Fulani Janjaweed they're all going to find you. They will find you. Do you know that people are being kidnapped in Aba by the Nigerian army sent to Sokoto? They are now demanding ransom. A man paid 6 million naira only 4 days ago to have the wife, his second wife, released to him that was taken to Sokoto. Are you sure you people don't actually understand what is happening around you? We are in a state of war. They've not declared it, but we are in a state of war. Nelson Mandela was called a terrorist. Yes, Nelson, go and do your research, because everything I tell you is gospel. Nelson Mandela was tagged a terrorist. Oliver Cromwell, that brought a semblance of the rule of the people. The reason why in England you have the House of Commons today, that the power resides with a commoner, a prime minister, like Boris Johnson, is because of Oliver Cromwell. Are you listening to me very carefully? The reason why the House of Common People in England is the strongest house you have, not the House of Lords. They are the ones that make the laws. The reason why in England today, somebody who is not either a landed gentry or somebody who is not from the royal family or somebody who is not titled, like an earl, a lord, a viscount, is not the prime minister, is because of a man called Oliver Cromwell, an Englishman. He too was called a terrorist. So too was George Washington. During America's War of Independence, George Washington, this America that every ant wants to go to, this same United States of America that everybody will die to go and live in, is called the land of the free. Or should I say the land of the brave and the free. The man that made it possible is George Washington. The British called him a terrorist. I'm saying all of these things tonight so that if you're called a terrorist because you're an IPOB, because you fund ESN, it is a badge of honor. After following what I'm reading out to you tonight, you will understand it. Who are we compared to Nelson Mandela? Of course, we are nobody. Yet he was called a terrorist. It didn't stop him. It did not stop the armed wing of ANC, towards his way, from doing their job to make sure that apartheid collapses. Apartheid, where South Africa abducted, anything abductable, they abducted, they killed, they massacred. At the end of the day, the will of the people prevailed. Our people should not despair. We are going through a very difficult time, aided and abetted by the likes of the Sarikin Fulani, of Imu, Hope, Zodema, the likes of Ojus or Carlo. I'm sure by now that Rochas have repented. He has asked me, in fact, his eyes are now open. All the Fulefus talking about one Nigeria is now very clear to all of you that the Fulanis do not mean well. Not for us who are fighting them, neither for you who are their slaves. If Nelson Mandela can be called a terrorist, who am I? Oliver Cromwell was a terrorist. George Washington was a terrorist. Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe was a terrorist. Even, let me shock you, all of you now. Some of you may have heard about a man called Dr. Azikiwe. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe is his name. I had to add Nnamdi to his name because he doesn't behave like one. Do you know that Dr. Azikiwe was called a terrorist and exiled to Ghana? Are you aware of that? Do you know who called him a terrorist? The same Britain, United Kingdom. Are you aware of that? Dr. Azikiwe, that fought and set Nigeria free. Do you know he was sent to jail by the British? Do you know that Ahmadu Bello never went to jail? Do you know that Abubakar Tafawa Balewa never went to jail? The only people that went to jail are those from the south. Awolowo and Azikiwe are the only people that went to jail in order to set Nigeria free. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know. And they were called terrorists. Yes, Nnamdi Azikiwe was called a terrorist by the British. You must listen to me attentively. I said this program cannot be like any other. You must listen attentively this evening, please. And invite people to come and listen as well. Nnamdi Azikiwe was called a terrorist by the British. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was not spared. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was called a terrorist as well for trying to set his people free. I want IPOB to know tonight that being called a terrorist because you're fighting for your land and your nation is a badge of honor. It means you've arrived. It means the enemy is scared of what you're doing. And it means that you're succeeding at whatever thing that you're doing. Are you following me? If you are in freedom fighting anywhere in the world, and the people you are fighting have not come to refer to you as a terrorist, then that means you're not doing anything. That means you're not threatening the status quo. Do you understand me very well? That is why in our case, where there is no democracy, because in Africa there is no democracy, people are very primitive, people are basically like wild animals in the forest, they have no brain. That is the reason why we need to agitate the way we are agitating, or else we can never be free. Understand this very, very clearly, please. Awolowo was also a terrorist. For the sake of Yoruba journalists in working for Channels Television, all those Yoruba people writing for the Punch newspaper, I also want to let you know tonight that Awolowo was once a terrorist because he was fighting for you. I hope you understand what I'm saying this evening. The world knows we are not terrorists. We have not gone to markets to bomb people. We have not gone to mosques to bomb people. We have not been to churches to kill people. We have not killed anybody, as a matter of fact. What ESN is doing is driving away Fulani terrorists in our forests. How can that make us a terrorist? By pursuing terrorists. How is that possible? How is that possible? Now pay attention to what I have to say. Do you remember those police they sent to Somalia? And I want people in Lagos to confirm this. I want my Yoruba brothers and sisters to confirm this, please, tonight and tomorrow morning. Do you know those police people they sent to Somalia? Ask yourself, why would any sensible country in the world send their police to Somalia? Is that possible? Do you know what they went to Somalia to do? I think that the Nigerian government will be shocked tonight that we have this intel. And I want to let them understand that the M branch of this very movement of IPOB to restore Biafra, our M branch is far more resourceful than any other organization in the whole. There is no move they make we don't know. We know how many tanks they are bringing. We know how many soldiers they are bringing. We know the type of armaments they are bringing. Everything we know. Ask the National Security Advisor of Nigeria. Ask their head of National Military Intelligence in Nigeria. Ask all the so-called big wigs of intelligence in Nigeria. And also ask the British. Why did Nigeria send a so-called policeman to Somalia to go and train people? Do you know what they went to Somalia to do? They went to go and recruit Al-Shabaab, terrorist operatives, to come to Nigeria to help them fight this war. That was why they went to Somalia. I'm sure this night they will be shocked how we knew this information. They went to Somalia. There is no country in the world after the debacle of U.S. rescue mission, Operation Hope, under George Bush Sr. No country in the world has ever dared to send their people into Mogadishu. Only Nigeria. Why? To go and recruit the very deadly Al-Shabaab terror group to come and fight for them. Remember the intel all over the place. America gave you intel a few weeks ago. I also have the latest one they gave today. When America said that terrorists are now moving south, I want to let the whole world understand. I want Tinubu to understand that even if you are from you're not safe. These are the people who are surrounding Lagos today. They are the ones in the forests of Yoruba land. Their leaders have come. The Nigerian government, the Fulani Caliphate government, sent their hardened men to Somalia to go and recruit Al-Shabaab terror group because they do not have the numbers to fight in the south. So they are complementing it with terrorists they are now recruiting across the Sahel, but most importantly, Al-Shabaab in Somalia. That was why they went to Somalia. Have you heard any updates since they went to Somalia? Have they tried to show you anybody they have recruited from Somalia or how they're helping the Somali government? Have they done so? The answer is no, because their motive there is sinister. They went there to go and recruit Al-Shabaab terrorists to come to kill all of you, shouting one Nigeria with green, white, green flag. You know, sometimes I think that Elohim in heaven is maybe trying to hold us back to unleash this thing from the Fulani so that all the Fulefus will die in misery and in regret. That was why they went to Somalia to go and recruit Al-Shabaab to come to fight for them. And this Al-Shabaab, they are the ones who are in Lagos, planning to attack Lagos. The Tinubu told the police commissioner to say it is IPOB. Are you following what I'm saying? Ask your, oh my, black people, why did God make me a black person? I don't understand. Why people cannot reason. Let me ask you again. Ever since their police went to Somalia, it is a foreign expeditionary mission. How come there is no update? How many Somalis they have trained? Have you ever, how? Brain of a black man. Have you ever wondered why you don't hear anything about that? For the very simple reason that they went to recruit terrorists, Al-Shabaab, and they are the ones now in and around Lagos, planning to launch multiple attacks in Lagos. And the human being, somebody that claims he has conscience, woke up in the morning and decided to blame IPOB for it. When Tinubu knows that those who are in the bushes and forests in and around Lagos are Al-Shabaab, hardened Somali terrorists all the way from Mogadishu that they brought him. Of course, history will be kind to IPOB. As this our brother have just written. His name is Adebayo Raphael. If they say to you in this life that Yoruba people will rise up to write glowingly in defense of IPOB, you will not believe it, but it is here very clear, in black and white. Al-Shabaab is in around Lagos because Fulani knows they don't have the numbers. They cannot win this war. Nigeria has never won any war on its own before in its history. They always rely on people to fight for them. After they fight, they'll start making mad. That's all they do. That is all they do. And to tell you that this is a concerted effort to colonize everybody. Ever since they had their so-called security meeting last week and decided to invade the South. Some of you think it's only the East that are coming to the entire South. Have you been hearing about bandits doing this or doing that anymore? They have promised them that the oil money is theirs. That is why, Madam Tambuwal, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. The attack is coming. You can't escape it because it's too late. They understand that come 2023, should power leave the North, they are finished. So they must attack this. In fact, we are now forcing them to attack 1 year earlier than they had planned. This attack was meant to commence in 2022, but they are starting in 2021 because of IPOB and Eastern Security Network. May glory and praise be to the Almighty in heaven. Lagos is surrounded by Al-Shabaab, and that is why Tinubu is trying to pin it on IPOB, without success, of course. And I also want, listen to me very carefully this evening, please, and be writing it down. I want the Nigerian government to know this. Nigerian government, the Chinese have promised to sell you weapons. You have moved money to Shanghai. I did not mention Beijing. I said Shanghai. Shanghai is where you are right now purchasing weapons from the Chinese. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. I did not say Beijing. I said you are in Shanghai. That is where you are right now negotiating to bring those weapons in because you have moved Al-Shabaab to Lagos. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda is in Benue State. And the hardened remnants that you recruited from Boko Haram, they are now moving to the east from Bauchi. That is a three-pronged attack coming to the south. And I want Middle Belt to understand this very clearly. By the time the attack intensifies in the south, nobody will remember you, you are gone. Three-pronged attack. The Nigerian government recruited 3 hardened terror groups to fight this very battle for them. Al-Shabaab, they are in and around Lagos and Yoruba land. They are the ones to lead the attack against Yoruba people. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, they are advancing through Benue. They will enter into Kogi. From there, they will come into Anambra and Enugu. Whereas the main Boko Haram front, recruited by this same government, they are coming from Ebonyi. But they are based in Bauchi, they are coming from Bauchi. That is where the armor, that is where the tanks are that they have given to them with which to come and kill people, because they have promised them the oil and gas and Biafra land. And that Allah gave Nigeria to Fulani people. Today's date is the 16th of May 2021. I pray to Elohim that this doesn't come to pass, but it's going to happen. And when it happens, as usual, people will go back to this. But he said it, he's a prophet, he said it, because you cannot stop what is coming. And I want you to know those to blame when they start massacring your men, women, and children. You will blame Obasanjo, you will blame Chinedu, you will blame Odios Okalo, you will blame, I don't even want to mention the Sarikini Fulani Hope, is irrelevant. You blame Rocha Sokorocha, you blame the Nnamdi, you blame Iwanyang, you will blame Mrs. Tambuwal, you will blame the likes of Edwin Clark. All these appeasers of Fulani. They always appease Fulani. They want to please them. One Nigeria. The person you are doing one Nigeria for, does Fulani believe in one Nigeria? So you think that by Fulani opening their mouth and saying one Nigeria, they are doing it because they love you? Are you stupid? Are you that foolish? They're doing it because they want to conquer you. And in fact, you are conquered already. You are conquered already. Nigeria, are you not in Shanghai purchasing weapons right now, this very night? True or false, we know. When you bring them in, we are going to know. When you deploy them, we are going to know. When we destroy them in Biafra land, we will also tell you that we've destroyed them. That is to let you understand that our own intelligence is more than yours. Because in Yoruba land right now, not only are they refugees in Benin Republic, which some of them do not know, because the news is being suppressed, Yoruba people are paying ransom to go to their farms. Ask yourself this question. Somebody as influential as Wole Soyinka cannot go to his farm. He's a Yoruba man. Wole Soyinka, of course, one of the people that I blame for the mess that Nigeria is in. A man who is learned should be educating those of us, should be foretelling the dangers to come by virtue of his academic accomplishments. He was the one supporting Fulani Janjaweed. I don't know if they were doing it to spite the Igbo people. I don't know what for. That same man cannot go to his farm. Are you following what is happening? Are you following what is happening? Of course, they gave us BBC Igbo to do to us what Punch and all these channels have been doing to Yorubas for long. They're in front of you, they'll be doing yo-yo. One Nigeria, you're dancing. From the back, they're slaughtering you. They're slaughtering you. Because Fulani needs to create a diversion. And they are masters at they know how to divert your attention. They are very good at it. And that was what our brother was writing about at Adebayo Raphael. ESN is a terror group. Nobody will ask them, but did ESN bomb any church? Did they go somewhere raping and killing people? Did they steal anything belonging to anybody? The answer is no. So what qualifies them as a terrorist? Oh no, because they are fighting Fulani. They are fighting your Janjaweedism. That is why they are terrorists. And being black people, very cowardly, very wicked, all of you are quiet. And I said this thing before and I will say it again to the hearing of the whole world. Black people are suffering all over the world because we are a very wicked race. You can never see something evil happening and rise up to say that this is evil. Regardless of that person's ethnicity or tribe or religion, you say this thing is evil. I was in detention. I was paying for wrongfully convicted and wrongfully accused northern boys to have access to decent legal representation. I was paying for it. I was in detention. I was paying for it. I was paying for people who were wrongly accused of being Boko Haram members to be set free. I did not mind which tribe they came from. There is a video circulating, and I want all of you to circulate that. I was in High Court. I was the one that paid for the parents to come to Abuja, to High Court, that I may tell the whole world where their children were being kept. I did not do it because they were Igbo, or Efik, or Ibibio, or Biafra. No, not at all. Because they are human beings. And the truth must prevail. And I'm telling you, maybe that is the reason why, despite all their attempts to kill me, they have not managed to do so. Because this God that we serve in heaven can see the hearts of men, even in secret. And know that I harbor no ill feelings towards anybody on this earth. All I want is to be free. The reason why I want to be free is because Nigeria can never work, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And I have pride and I have honor. I cannot be following white people all over the place, staying in a white man's land, working, them giving me everything, 24 hours, electricity, housing, education, everything, and I cannot give the same thing to my people. If I can't do that, means I'm a failure in life. That's why we want Biafra. Not out of hatred for anybody, not at all. But Fulani wants to take our land, and we're saying no, they cannot take it. And some of you idiotically are supporting them. In the next coming months, you will see the result of the damage you have done to yourselves. You will see it. Because I know that Fulani Janjaweed, they need access to our oil and our gas. And I'm telling the UK government today, Katrina Lang, all these plans you're putting in place, because the person on the ground directing this Fulani attack is a woman, a white woman, Katrina Lang. That's the one doing all this work for Britain. Britain, one day, you see this little snake you're feeding, this Fulani Janjaweedism you're supporting, they will destroy you. One day they will kill British people in your so-called Nigeria. Go and mark my words somewhere. You people never learn. History is replete with Islamic governments you've helped in the past. They came back to bomb and to kill you. I'm talking about Britain, the UK. So will Fulani kill you one day. All this aiding and abetting of atrocity upon atrocity. The reason why the Fulanis are coming now is because Britain told them to attack now because Israel is under siege from Hamas. That is the signature, that is the handwriting of Britain, that is the way they operate. The reason why Harold Wilson allowed the British to support the Fulani Janjaweed to kill 5 million people, the second worst genocide in the history of man, was in 1967. Two things happened. At the same time, Israel was under attack. As at now, Israel was under the Yom Kippur War of 1967. Israel was under attack. As Israel was under attack, Gowon launched his strike at Gekken. Britain calculated that the whole Vietnam War and everything will take over world attention. And the whole world now is focused on Israel. So the Fulanis can now come to Biafra land and kill as many people as possible. Britain will ensure that the world will not hear about it. Are you following what I'm preaching? Are you following what I'm saying? Because what I'm giving you is gospel from heaven. Is your Chineke. The reason why they chose now to attack, it won't surprise me. I don't know. I don't have the intel yet, but it won't surprise me if Nigeria and United Kingdom has in hand in the attack that Hamas is launching against Israel. I'm being honest with you. Or maybe they knew about it. Of course, they have a very credible and formidable intelligence services. They knew about it. And what they decided was, Nigeria, this is your time now to move in. Because the global attention is on Israel. Go to Biafra and kill as many as you can. Subdue and suppress them. Do you know how I knew that this was going to happen? Anywhere Katrina Lang visits, anywhere she goes to, give it only 2 weeks, the army will move in there to kill people. The British, I'm telling you, it's simple research, go and do it. Anytime there is a crisis, the British High Commissioner Katrina Lang, anywhere, anytime she's on the move, you are finished. She was the woman that visited Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The next day, people were dying around Lekki Tollgate. After visiting Ojo Zokalo to go engage the Poles of the East, Ojo Zokalo gave them the go-ahead to come to our land to kill us. Katrina Lang, that's the woman's name. British High Commissioner to the zoo that they created called Nigeria. And people don't want to understand because I'm going to come to the issue of black people later on. Because the time has come for us to begin to reason properly. like human beings. Do you know somebody called Davin Anderson, the U.S. intelligence chief? He warned that southern Nigeria needs to keep its eyes open. Terror groups have taken over the region. This is the news being reported 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. Go and Google it. Southern Nigeria needs to keep its eyes open. Terror groups have taken over the region. This was what Chinedu was trying to pin on IPOB. Are you following? This was what Chinedu was trying to pin on IPOB. So when Al-Shabaab are busy slaughtering people in Yoruba land, Chinedu will say it's IPOB that is doing it. But as God will have it, the love I have for Yoruba people stemming from the love they have shown to me, I'm being honest with you. We talk privately. The land of Baya de Banjo, the land of Gani Adams, the land of Iboho, the land of Femi Fanikayode, the land of Papa Shoranti, the land of my late friend. Why would I go and attack it? They don't know that we are under oath. Do you know we are under blood oath with our Yoruba brethren? Are you aware of that? Blood oath. That we can never ever, not in a billion years, work against each other. Never. That is why you see their rallies. You see the way they do their rallies? That is why everywhere is bubbling. And the intelligence officer that spoke to us told us that they don't want to attack Yoruba yet. Their plan before was to attack Yoruba first, take over Yoruba land, and then come to the east to subdue us. But that the only people they fear is IPOB. Go and ask them. That is why they want to demonize us. If you're from the south, I want you to listen very carefully. If you're Biafra, if you do even from the Middle Belt, the United States has said that the southern part of Nigeria should stay on alert because terror groups are already establishing their presence in the country and moving down south. The warning was made in a media briefing by Davin Anderson, commander of the U.S. Special Operations Command Africa. He said Al-Qaeda is also expanding to other parts of West Africa. We have engaged with Nigeria and continue to engage with them in intel sharing and in understanding what these violent extremists are doing. Not IPOB. Al-Qaeda is there. Al-Shabaab is there. Three-pronged attack. ISIS in West Africa is there. And Chinedu wants to pin it on IPOB. Do you see how evil these men are? But our God is fighting for us. That is why we receive what? They don't even have this intelligence we do. I know where they're buying weapons now, Fulani. Fulani can never fight a war on their own. And I told that all the barracks you see in the east, they're empty. Nobody wants to join their army. That is why they're drafting people from Baguchi. If you claim that 82 division in Enugu is strong, Obinze is strong, or Hafa is strong, or Onitsha is strong, they are all there to intimidate all of you into submission. That the Fulanis may rule over you. That's all. There are no men. They have to go and now they are recruiting terrorist groups to come and fight for them. You must understand what is happening. Therefore, it never came to me as a surprise. Katrina Lang, the UK High Commissioner to Nigeria, wants the Igbo race to be wiped out. The same way people want the Jews to be killed. Any day our people rise up to recognize and understand this, the better for all of us. Some people want us dead. Not that we have done anything to them. No, not at all. But because the United Kingdom believes that the coming of Biafra will herald the coming of Christ, that the world will come to an end. Any day the black man acquires reason. Any day the black man can build a car. Any day the black man can feed himself. That day the world will come to an end. That's what they believe in. And they know that it is Biafra that holds the key. They understand that very well. That is why it never came to me as a surprise that after Katrina Lang visited the arch-traitor Joseph Carlo, the very amorphous, headless monster known as Fulani Caliphate declared effectively the Second Biafran War. Something tells me, as I told you earlier, that the timing of this war on Biafra has something to do with Britain. Because in like 1967, Israel today is at war the same way they were at war when Nigeria attacked Biafra in 1967. They now want to use it as a cover as a cover to commit genocide. And I'm telling Biafrans tonight that we are effectively on our own. We have been given two choices by the United Kingdom, the slave masters and the colonizers. The UK have given us only two alternatives. And I call it the devil's alternative, of course. We either submit to the will of their puppets, the Islamic Caliphate, or we will be wiped out from the face of this very earth. The question you must ask yourself tonight as a Biafran, as a Southerner is, do you want to be a slave to the Fulani Caliphate, or do you want to die on your feet? Live for 1,000 years on your knees, as most of them are doing without even knowing it, or you die on your feet. The devil's alternative. Whichever option we choose, men are going to die. Which one do you prefer? Are we going to fight and die like men? Or are we going to submit to a life of Allahu Akbar? It's entirely up to you. The time is now because the enemies, they have come. I didn't say they are coming, they have not come into our land. And as I promised them, if God is on our side, which I know He is on our side, this army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. That is how God intended it to happen. Many of us are going to die. And I'll be leading it myself, mind you. Many of us are going to die. But Biafra is going to come. And everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come. We are not going to be slaves in our land. I want to let Katona Lang, the UK government, to understand this. That we have chosen the path of death than to submit to the will of the Fulani Caliphate. Death is better for us. People are dying every day. Are they not human beings? People are dying every day. Are we better than them? Those who are dying, are we better than them? We must develop the mindset of the Afghanis. That is why Afghanistan cannot be taken. It doesn't matter the firepower you have. NATO is in Afghanistan. Have they taken Afghanistan? The answer is no. You are coming to kill us, but we are also going to die together in the land of Biafra. Let anybody say I did not warn them, because things are going to start happening in the next 14 days. When it starts happening, if Fulefus may talk and yap and write their rubbish. But now that the Fulanis are kidnapping our people, disappearing us, killing people in truckloads, nobody's talking. We must make our land impregnable for them. And that will involve a lot of destruction. I'm saying it live on air so that all of you will understand. To slow the advance down, we need to destroy a lot of things. We must destroy a lot of things. That is how all of you will come to your senses to understand that we are in a state of war. They want to circle us. They are using the Fulefus amongst us to try to be, assuaging your, should I say, your bruised egos, all of you, writing no rubbish about one Nigeria. From next 2 weeks, we are going to start dying for what we believe in. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. We are going to die en masse, and we are going to take them with us. By the time the slaughter happens, it will be so intense that you see that CNN, they'll come to Biafra to cover this very war. That is about to happen. You see CNN, all of them running away from Biafra, they will cover it by force, because we are going to kill every Nigerian soldier on Biafran soil will die. God is my witness. And I will lead this very army myself. I want the UK to understand that we have chosen to die than be slaves. At the end of this newly declared war against Biafrans, many of us will perish, but out of these very ruins, Biafra is going to rise up again to the eternal glory of Chukwukikadonoprumihinine in heaven, that His will may be done on earth as it is in heaven. I want them to understand. Let it not be tomorrow. People say, but the suicide bombing is not part of our nature. It's not our life. It's not our culture. Now that Fulani are there, we are going to die with them. We are Biafrans. as they will say, being a Liverpool fan, what we do in life echo in history, as they sing. What you achieve in life will echo because it's appointed unto man to die only but once. Earlier I was mentioning Mandela, I mentioned George Washington, I mentioned Oliver Cromwell, I mentioned Mugabe, I didn't even know if I mentioned Castro or not. All these were called terrorists. They are all dead, but they are immortal because we still mention them till this very day. We crave immortality, and in 14 days it will start. Don't say I did not warn you, please. Don't say I didn't warn you. Fulani brought war to our land. All we asked them to do was to leave our forest and go and live in the township. Rent a house and live in the town. Bring down your Nama. Sell it and do whatever you want to do with it. You cannot stay in our forest. You cannot stay there. If you stay there, you will die. That is the only crime that Eastern Security Network committed. Nobody can tell us today if their mosque has been bombed by ESN or any church or any village or anyone, nothing. So these people you're calling terrorists, what is their crime? Because they said that we cannot take over their land. That is the crime of ESN and IPOB by extension. As I told you a few weeks ago, the Janjaweed have opened the floodgates of hell. And unto thy hands, O Elohim, we commit our spirit. As they will say in one very popular movie, those of us who are about to die will salute you. Because the land of Biafra will be defended with the blood of anything that moves. Rather than the Fulani to take over Biafra land, there will be no living organism in that very place. I am warning every traditional ruler, every governor, every senator to understand what I'm saying this night and take it on board. And do not quote me out of context. If you want to be a Fulani slave, go to the Middle Belt and join them there. All of you can be slaves to one Nigeria. That is your business. You say the land of Biafra, we cannot surrender to anyone. Now, I don't want anybody to lament. Oh, they have killed us here. Don't stop lamentation. All we need is action. Not Rambo-style action. If you want to know how Britain ran away from Israel, go and read the book. Just Google it and say, how was it possible that the state of Israel was established despite hostilities from everywhere, surrounded by enemies? But they still succeeded because they blew them out of Palestine, or they call it Palestine, which was a name, just as they're calling us now, Southeast. They don't want to call us our name Biafra. After the Romans took over the Holy Land, they named it Palestine because they said that the Jews were too stubborn. They erased the name Israel and called the place Palestine. That's what they do. Because when somebody wants to completely overwhelm you, they change your identity for you. And if you're a very stupid black person, as most of us are, of course, in Africa, you swallow your new name, hook, line, and sinker. Israel was named Palestine by the Romans that came and burnt the temple down because of rebellion, that they were too rebellious. The same thing they tried to do to us. We must be very, very strong. Go and ask them how they did it. They blew them away from there. Not all this Rambo on the road. Every road leading into Biafra land will be mined. Everything that is Nigerian, whatever police or army that steps on our road will blow it to thy kingdom come. Very neat and simple. And I will make a cowboy and Rambo. We don't need that rubbish. We destroy everything destroyable. We need to force them. I said before, when we drive away the Fulani terrorists, Mietiala, from our bushes, they will bring in their army. We will kill their army. They will start throwing bombs from the air. After that, they will leave us alone. I'm telling you, you mark my words, that's how it's going to happen. When I told you that we will defeat Mietiala, did you believe me? When I said we will drive away Mietiala from our land, did you believe me? We did it without the help of any governor, no politician, nobody. This great family, this IPOB, Chineke gozie unu ndị ọma. Ndị ọma.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kani kenebelu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike.
Downloaded from sunshinemusic.ng.
Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Odogwa lebula buke. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu.
Every day we dey pray for God, make He give us things we go do. Every day we dey cry on God, make He give us a good in a day. Make it look the way them they keep my people. They make me they cry. Make it look the thing where they happen for Nigeria. They make me they wonder. I say kill the funny it's scatter. Oh na na na. What do we go do? Make it come to the back now. What do we go do? Make it come to the south. No Biafra, make it make it fight. I am a Biafra. I am fighting for my freedom. I am a Biafra. I am fighting for my freedom. Free. I know see.
Asikwa nwata chọba nke ya ọ bụrụ ajọ nwa. Asikwa nwata chọba nke ya ọ bụrụ ajọ nwa. Nye m nke ma ọ bụ ihe ọjọọ. Nna nye m nke ma bụrụ ihe ọjọọ biko. Nke a ọchịchị ndị zoo. Ọchịchị ndị isi ojii. Naanị n'obodo ndị isi ojii ka nke a na-eme.
Lord of mercy, we pray for our country. The rising sun. I am a Biafra. I am fighting for my freedom.
Nwere onwe m ka m na-achọ nwa gị ọzọ.
I am a Biafra. I am fighting for my freedom.
Akwa na-abụdị nwata gbacha bụ ya setụlụ ya. Nna ya gbatakwara n'ụbọchị ya o. Ha bụ ga-settlement anyị. Unu ga-esetụrụ dị anyị. Ọ na-achọ ya ma ọ na-achọghị ya.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Anyị kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike.
Downloaded from sunshinemusic.ng.
egwu ndị Kalodu ikolobịa bi n'obodo a mmadụ anọzi mkpe ya egwu ndị ikolobịa Biafra bala anyị obere nwa onye fọrọ ime Chukwu zitere anyị ya Chukwu okike abịa mazitelie ọbịa tọpụ ụmụ Biafra na-abụ ọtọpụ anyị na-abụ Naijiria Chukwu zitere anyị ya ma ndị Lova jụziri ajụ mana anyị nwekwa mmeri.
Downloaded from socialmusic.ng.
Ọ bụrụ obere nwa na 2015 ụbọchị enyanụ
n'oge ndị Igbo na Biafra Defenders Forum ka anyị nọ.
Anyị wee jebe ụlọ ikpe chọbazie ndị kpọrọ anyị na mkpọrọ ndị kpọchiri anyị ka anyị na-achọ
Ndị kpọchiri anyị na-agbazi ọsọ
afa na-agbazi ọsọ na-achụzi ife
olo ọ gịnị na-achụ ha
na afa marọ na anyị nwere mmeri n'ife ọbụla anyị tinyere aka n'ụwa na-agala anyị ya ka anyị ji bụrụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa
ọ bụrụ asị nwanne odogwu
keduzi ife mesilume odogwu a na-egbula abụke akpatago
odogwu a na-egburu abụke
nwa onye fere ife agbala nze na akpọ ya onikalata
esokwu m akpọ gị
emela ihe n'elu ụwa ka ibili
ihe agaghị eme gị
n'elu ụwa fụ Biafra
ọfọ ise
ndị onye ọrụ kpara m na-ekwu akpọmọfọ na nini ga-afụ ife ọma
ise
ebe isi na anyị ga-enwere onwe anyị wee bulie n'isi ife ọma ga-abụ nke
ife ọma ga-abụ nke gị odogwu nwoke njem ọnụ
Kanu
kenebe na ya ọha ma dike
Ọhamadike Biafra akpara nzere kwupụrụ
isi na ịrụrụ ihe eji nwoke emepụta ka ịhụ gị n'ọgbọ
eze nketa nkonyere mkpuchi
ọkarịhọ na
kịtịkpa gbala ndị ọghọrụ mbuze
ọ bụrụ na ohere aka nji wee na-anabatakwa gị ọzọ n'oge ndị Igbo na Biafra Defenders Forum asị m nke onye chiri ya zere anyị na-anabata nwoke ma na-anabata nwaanyị ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ asị m ebe kpere ugo bere mana nke siri ibe ya ebe na asịrị m osisi ahụ oge bite na ya gbajie ka ọ fụ ka efe ebe ebeghị ebe si atọ tata bụ ụbọchị Mọnde ahịa afọ n'ala ọma anyị bụ ala Biafra eji m aka n'afọ fọtarịgodu n'ụbọchị nke tata o ji nkeji ole ma ole wee na-akpụdebe aka n'elekere anya asaa nke uhuruchi nke ụbọchị nke tata
onye gbakada ya lụ
iko mmiri nke ị nyere ya n'obi gị ọ ga-adịrị gị na mma o nwoke ọma mara mma otu IPOB niile kwụ gị n'azụ ndị niile ihe ọma na-adị mma kwụ gị n'azụ ndị niile chọrọ nwere onwe kwụ gị n'azụ ma Igbo ma Hausa ma Yoruba ndị niile chọrọ nwere onwe kwụ gị n'azụ ụjọ adịghị otu aka ka nna anabata ma na-ekele ndị otu IPOB niile n'ụwa niile gbara gburugburu ọbụnagodi n'ihi ọlụ ọma nke anyị na-alụ iji wee na-agbasara ụwa niile na-agwa ha na anyị kwuo onye isi anyị onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu n'azụ na-agwado ndị zoo ka ha hapụrụ anyị nwoke ọma anyị na onweghị ihe o mere ha ụmụnne anyị nọ na Spain anyị hụrụ aka ọrụ n'ụbọchị taa ndị nọ na Gabon anyị hụkwara aka ọrụ n'otu aka ndị otu Biafra Defenders Forum niile ndị ọma ọ ga-adịrị na mma maazị Ogbonna ya akazi kpọpụrụ gị onye ọma ka anya gị sọkwa ha ji wee mere akụkọ n'ọgụ hụrụ chi a abụghị m onye Igbo dịka ọ na-aga n'iru mgbe ọ na-agbasa ozi ọ gwara ha ọtụtụ okwu dị n'otu na agamniru n'etiti ha ọ gara n'iru wee kọwasị na ihe ọbụla mere onye Igbo mere ndị Igbo niile maka na ndị Igbo na-akwụ ibe ha n'azụ n'ihe ọbụla ha na-eme n'ihi nke a ka ya ji wee hụ ndị Igbo n'anya wee karịchaa obodo ọbụla nke nwere n'obodo zụa bụ Naịjirịa n'ihi nke a ka ya ji wee kwue na ọ bụ na edebere Igbo debere ya Hausa na ya ga-aghara ka ya bụrụ onye Igbo maka na ndị Igbo ma ka esi eme ka ya eso nwe ike kwuru ana m achọ ịgwa gị ma na-adọ gị aka na ntị na-adọsi gị ike ọ bụrụ na ị na-eche na ọ bụrụ na ọgụ tasoro ụmụ Biafra na ndị obodo zoo bụ Naịjirịa ọ bụrụ na ị na-eche na obodo zoo bụ Naịjirịa ga-agakwa n'iru imeri obodo Biafra ọzọ eziokwu ana m agwa gị na ọ bụ nlọ ka ị na-alọ nlọ ahụ ị na-alọkwanụ bụ nlọ ịba ka ị na-alọ ma ọ bụrụ na o nwere onye ọbụla nke na-agwa gị sị na ọgụ taso ndị Biafra na ndị Naịjirịa ga-emeri ya bụ ọgụ n'oge anyị nọ n'ime ya biko mara na onye ahụ na-enye gị ndụmọdụ ahụ na-eduhie gị onye ahụ adịghị agwa gị eziokwu ihe aka T.Y. Danjuma gwara mama mmadụ Buhari bụ aka na-achị obodo Ekwensu bụ obodo Naịjirịa T.Y. Danjuma agala n'iru n'ụbọchị nke tata wee dọọ mama mmadụ Buhari aka na ntị bụ onye na-achị obodo Ekwensu bụ obodo Naịjirịa wee gwa ya ka o wepụ aka n'ihe ọbụla gbasara ndị Biafra ma gaa n'iru wee nye ndị Biafra referendum ka e wee mara ihe referendum ga-ekwu mana ọ bụrụ na o meghị nke a chere na ọ bụ site n'ịlụ ọgụ ka ọ ga-eji wee lụta otu Naịjirịa nke ha na-achọ na eziokwu na ọnwa ya nwa n'oge a nke a nọ n'ime ya na ọ ga-abụrụ ya nnukwute ihe iti aka n'obi ma bụrụ ya nnukwute ihe ịta ụta maka na obodo abụ obodo Biafra ga-ekpochapụ obodo zubu obodo Naịjirịa na-egbughị oge ihe a bụ ndụmọdụ nke T.Y. Danjuma na-agwa onye iberibe bụ mama mmadụ Buhari were iko mmiri kụnye onye Igbo mmiri mgbe akpịrị na-akpọ ya nkụ ọ bụrụ na ọ ṅụchaa mmiri ahụ otu ụbọchị ọ ga-echetarịrị na ọ ṅụrụ mmiri n'aka gị mgbe akpịrị na-akpọ ya nkụ ọ ga-achọrọ gị bịa ma were nnukwute tankị nke mmiri juru n'ime ya wee bịa kelee gị n'ihi otu iko mmiri nke ị nyere ya ihe a bụ ihe senetọ Enyinnaya Baribe kwupụtara n'ụlọ nke ndị otu ndị seneti ibe ya n'ụbọchị nke tata dị ka ha na-aga n'iru na-eme nzukọ ha Enyinnaya Baribe gara n'iru wee kpọkue ndị seneti dị ka ọ na-agwa ha okwu n'ilu wee gwa ha na ndị Igbo bụ mba hụrụ onwe ha n'anya nke ukwuu na ndị Igbo adịghịkwanụ echefu ihe ha mere onwe ha na ndị Igbo adịghị echefu onye ọbụla mere ihe ọma n'ihi na ndị Igbo dị ka ọkụkọ na-adịghị echefu onye ọbụla kwụrụ ya ọdụ n'udu mmiri dị ka ọ na-aga n'iru mgbe ọ na-agbasa ozi ọ gwara ha ọtụtụ okwu dị iche iche si ha na ọ na-abụ Chukwu gọzie onye Igbo na ọ na-agba mbọ ma gọzikwa nwanne ya onye nọdebere ya n'akụkụ ya o mere ka ha mara sị na ọ bụrụ na unu na-eche na ndị Igbo na-akpa ego ọjọọ n'ụbọchị nke tata na ya na-agwa unu na ndị Igbo adịghị akpa ego ọjọọ, ha adịghịkwana akpa ego ọbara. Ego ndị Igbo na-akpa bụ ọnatarachi maka na ọ bụ Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ ihe kere ndị Igbo ma gọzikwazie ndị Igbo n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Ihe a ka enyi nna ya Baribe kwuru n'ụbọchị nke tata. Etere ụgbọ etere azụ, otu ọ bụ na ọ sọkwara ya si wee dere, anyị achọghị ịma ọ bụrụgodo na ndị ikpe unu na-aga ezumike, anyị achọghị ịma ihe ma na ụbọchị 26 bụ ụbọchị ahụ akara aka. Ụlọ ikpe unu ga-emeperịrị emepe, a ga-ekpe ikpe ahụ ma kpepụta ihe, ka ọha na eze yutu gwara gọọmenti etiti obodo Zobo Nigeria. Ọha na eze yutu agwala gọọmenti etiti nke obodo Zobo Nigeria dị ka ọ na-ahịa ebe niile na ndị ụlọ ikpe na-achọ ịga ezumike nke ha ga-anọ ọnwa abụọ maọbụ atọ tutu ha lachighata azụ. Ya ka ọha na eze yutu na-agwa ha, ọ bụ unu ji aka unu tinye ụbọchị a ga-ekpe ikpe a wee sị na ọ bụ mkpụrụ ụbọchị 26 n'ime ọnwa Julaị nke anyị nọ n'ime ya. Anyị amaghị ihe ọbụla unu na-akọ, unu kọrọ enu unu akọrọje na mgbada, nke ahụ agbasaghị anyị. Ihe a marịrị bụ na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 26 bụ ụbọchị ahụ akara aka. O nweghị ihe ga-emegide na agaghị ekpe ikpe a n'ụbọchị ahụ a ga-ekpe ya ma kpechakwa ya ihe, ka ọha na eze yutu gwara gọọmenti etiti nke obodo Zobo Nigeria. Ndị IPOB obodo Israel a na-echetara unu na echi niile bụ ụbọchị aha akara aka bụ mkpụrụ ụbọchị 20 n'ime ọnwa nke anyị nọ n'ime ya n'ime Julaị a bụ ụbọchị ahụ akara aka unu ga-enwe ngagharị iwe nke akpọrọ protest n'asụsụ Bekee. N'ihi ka eji wee na-agwa mmadụ niile, biko ka unu wee malite, unu wee mụ ụzọ wee pụta ebe ahụ unu ga-agbakọ na Hanka Yankon nke dị na Tel Aviv n'obodo Israel. Dị ka unu na-agbakọta ebe ahụ, a na-ayọ ka unu gbakọta n'oge ka unu wee nwee ike wee gagharịa ebe niile kwesịrị ka unu gagharịa ma laghachi n'ụlọ ọrụ unu maọbụ na be unu dị iche iche, gakwa malite ime ihe kwesịrị ka unu mee. N'ihi nke aka eji wee na-akpọku mmadụ niile ka onye ọbụla wee pụta, ikwu na ibe niile, ndị niile ihe ọma na-adị mma, obodo Afrịka niile, ndị Oduduwa na ndị Ambazonian na ndị IPOB niile na ndị Biafra niile nọ n'obodo Israel, ka onye ọbụla pụta n'igwe dị ka unu ga-aga ya bụ ngagharị iwe. Otu aka ahụ, anyị bụ ndị Biafra Defenders Forum na-arịọzi unu arịrịọ, biko ka unu na-agbakọta maka ime ya bụ ngagharị iwe nke unu ga-eme. O nwere otu okwu nke nna anyị ukwu bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tụpụrụ otu ụbọchị ọ na-ekwu okwu na redio Biafra. Dị ka ọ na-ekwu ya bụ okwu, ọ sụrụ n'asụsụ Bekee wee sị na ala Biafra ga-abụ a colorful nation. Na ọ bụrụ na ala Biafra bịa na ọ ga-abụ a colorful nation, nke gosiri na ndị be anyị niile bụ ụmụ Biafra, ndị isi ojii niile gara n'obodo oyibo wee lụọ ụmụ nwaanyị ndị ọcha ma mụtacha ụmụ ndị dị ọcha. Na ọ bụrụ na akpọkọta ha niile wee lata n'ala anyị, eziokwu ị gaghị amazi ma obodo a ọ bụ obodo ndị isi ojii ma ọ bụ obodo ndị isi ọcha. N'ihi
Getuta Bagnet Turian and Nejeni. rapi no bosisi di no shwa anyi kparu nkete no watero futarako chukwa bia magba kwasa enya anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Osai kpogwa usanashi nehena tangbasu Boni yorobeswa nehebun gokuru Anyejelu kahe nehebun dakri papa Manye sole Mohammed no bonyera heji koreka ezunu Biafra izu amosu Chukwa bia magba kwasa enya anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Osneligwe Biafra kutere aligara Osu oche idoma chidokdoi ne ochi ibagwa chidokdoi kalaba ne abak ne abatete Chukwa bia magba kwasa enya anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Okwana kwa Nigeria bunu avronya Oruru ne kwa kbana gban Biafra Ibere dubeji ya majike Uwabonye merike Mbe ojukuzuru Bopalirgo Chukwa bia magba kwasi yenya Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Eriri jiobele jisike Mejo chiyose jisike Nejo chinelenku Obele nelenku Oru mejo chijada Obele gata be chikpo Nonyi de tokpo tagere Chukwa bia magba kwasa enya Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu Anyi nwere odogwu kuregede me mamage Nnamdi Kanu ahenya Nnamdi Kanu ahenya uwa Odogwejegu kamukade ya nobu 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 Chukwa bia magba kwasa enya Dr. Nnamdi nso Nde mbonga daga Gede mbonga daga Newe mbonga daga Gede mbonga daga Mainjegre mbom Nde mbonga daga Newe mbonga daga Main lagre mbom Newe mbonga daga Gede mbonga daga Main tuire mbom Newe mbonga daga Nde mbonga daga Mainjegre mbom Gede mbonga daga Gede mbonga daga Main kwalaga mbom Newe mbonga daga Gede mbonga daga Mainjegre mbom Newe mbonga daga Punkun pogele 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 Punkun pogele Punkun pogele 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 Punkun pogele Punkun pogele 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 Punkun pogele Punkun pogele 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 Punkun pogele
Ike chakara obi ma bụrụ ya n'okwuchi ihe ịta ụta maka na obodo Biafra ga-ekpochapụ obodo zubu obodo Naijiria na-egbughị oge. Ihe a bụ ndụmọdụ nke T.Y. Danjuma na-agwa onye iberibe bụ Mama Mmadụ Buhari. Were iko mmiri kụnye onye Igbo mmiri mgbe akpịrị na-akpọ ya nkụ. Ọ bụrụ na ọ ṅụchaa mmiri ahụ otu ụbọchị ọ ga-echetarịrị na ọ ṅụrụ mmiri n'aka gị mgbe akpịrị na-akpọ ya nkụ. Ọ ga-achọrọ gị bịa ma were nnukwute tankị nke mmiri juru n'ime ya wee bịa kelee gị n'ihi otu iko mmiri nke ị nyere ya. Ihe a bụ ihe senetọ Enyinnaya Baribe kwupụtara n'ụlọ nke ndị otu ndị seneti ibe ya n'ụbọchị nke tata dị ka ha na-aga n'iru na-eme nzukọ ha. Enyinnaya Baribe gara n'iru wee kpọkue ndị seneti dị ka ọ na-agwa ha okwu n'ilu wee gwa ha na ndị Igbo bụ mba hụrụ onwe ha n'anya nke ukwuu, na ndị Igbo adịghịkwanụ echefu ihe ha mere onwe ha, na ndị Igbo adịghị echefu onye ọbụla mere ihe ọma, n'ihi na ndị Igbo dị ka ọkụkọ na-adịghị echefu onye ọbụla kwụrụ ya ọdụ n'udu mmiri. Dị ka ọ na-aga n'iru mgbe ọ na-agbasa ozi, ọ gwara ha ọtụtụ okwu dị iche iche si ha na ọ na-abụ Chukwu gọzie onye Igbo na ọ na-agba mbọ ma gọzikwa nwanne ya onye nọdebere ya n'akụkụ ya. O mere ka ha mara sị na ọ bụrụ na unu na-eche na ndị Igbo na-akpa ego ọjọọ n'ụbọchị nke tata, na ya na-agwa unu na ndị Igbo adịghị akpa ego ọjọọ, ha adịghịkwana akpa ego ọbara. Ego ndị Igbo na-akpa bụ ọnatarachi maka na ọ bụ Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ ihe kere ndị Igbo ma gọzikwazie ndị Igbo n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Ihe a ka Enyinnaya Baribe kwuru n'ụbọchị nke tata. Etere ụgbọ etere azụ otu ọbụla ọ sọkwara ya si wee dere, anyị achọghị ịma ọ bụrụgodo na ndị ikpe unu na-aga ezumike, anyị achọghị ịma ihe ma na ụbọchị 26 bụ ụbọchị ahụ akara aka. Ụlọ ikpe unu ga-emeperịrị emepe, a ga-ekpe ikpe ahụ ma kpepụta ihe, ka ọha na eze yutu gwara gọọmenti etiti obodo Zobo Naijiria. Ọha na eze yutu agwala gọọmenti etiti nke obodo Zobo Naijiria dị ka ọ na-ahịa ebe niile na ndị ụlọ ikpe na-achọ ịga ezumike nke ha ga-anọ ọnwa abụọ maọbụ atọ tutu ha lachighata azụ. Ya ka ọha na eze yutu na-agwa ha ọ bụ unu ji aka unu tinye ụbọchị a ga-ekpe ikpe a wee sị na ọ bụ mkpụrụ ụbọchị 26 n'ime ọnwa Julaị nke anyị nọ n'ime ya. Anyị amaghị ihe ọbụla unu na-akọ, unu kọrọ enu unu akọrọjee na mgbada, nke ahụ agbasaghị anyị. Ihe a marịrị bụ na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 26 bụ ụbọchị ahụ akara aka. O nweghị ihe ga-emegide na agaghị ekpe ikpe a n'ụbọchị ahụ, a ga-ekpe ya ma kpetakwa ya ihe, ka ọha na eze yutu gwara gọọmenti etiti nke obodo Zobo Naijiria. Ndị IPOB obodo Israel a na-echetara unu na echi niile bụ ụbọchị aha akara aka bụ mkpụrụ ụbọchị 20 n'ime ọnwa nke anyị nọ n'ime ya n'ime Julaị a bụ ụbọchị aha akara aka unu ga-enwe ngagharị iwe nke akpọrọ protest n'asụsụ Bekee. N'ihi ka eji wee na-agwa mmadụ niile biko ka unu wee malite, unu wee mụ ụzọ wee pụta ebe ahụ unu ga-agbakọ na Hanka Yankon nke dị na Tel Aviv n'obodo Israel. Dị ka unu na-agbakọta ebe ahụ a na-ayọ ka unu gbakọta n'oge ka unu wee nwee ike wee gagharịa ebe niile kwesịrị ka unu gagharịa ma laghachi n'ụlọ ọrụ unu maọbụ na be unu dị iche iche gakwa malite ime ihe kwesịrị ka unu mee. N'ihi nke aka eji wee na-akpọku mmadụ niile ka onye ọbụla wee pụta, ikwu na ibe niile, ndị niile ihe ọma na-adị mma, obodo Afrịka niile, ndị Oduduwa na ndị Ambazonian na ndị IPOB niile na ndị Biafra niile nọ n'obodo Israel, ka onye ọbụla pụta n'igwe dị ka ọnụ ga-aga ya bụ ngagharị iwe. Otu aka ahụ anyị bụ ndị Biafra Defenders Forum na-arịọzi na arịrịọ biko ka unu na-agbakọta maka ime ya bụ ngagharị iwe nke unu ga-eme. O nwere otu okwu nke nna anyị ukwu bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tụpụrụ otu ụbọchị ọ na-ekwu okwu na redio Biafra. Dịka ọ na-ekwu ya bụ okwu, ọ sụrụ n'asụsụ Bekee wee sị na ala Biafra ga-abụ a colorful nation. na ọ bụrụ na ala Biafra bịa na ọ ga-abụ a colorful nation nke gosiri na ndị be anyị niile bụ ụmụ Biafra ndị isi ojii niile gara n'obodo oyibo wee lụọ ụmụ nwaanyị ndị ọcha ma mụtacha ụmụ ndị dị ọcha na ọ bụrụ na akpọkọta ha niile wee lata n'ala anyị eziokwu ị gaghị amazi ma obodo a ọ bụ obodo ndị isi ojii ma ọ bụ obodo ndị isi ọcha. N'ihi nke a ka anyị ji wee na-arịọ unu niile ndị Israel dị ka unu ga-eme ngagharị iwe bụ protest anyị na-arịọ unu ka unu mee ya ka ọ dị kọlọfụ. Biko kpọrọ na ụmụ niile ahụ unu mụrụ amụ ndị zọdebegoro ụkwụ na n'ọfụma ndị ga-aganwu ije na-ekwughị na ụkwụ na-egbu ha mgbu na ndị nwunye unu nke unu na-alụ n'obodo ahụ. Biko anyị na-arịọ ka unu kpọrọ ha niile wee pụta. Ọ bụrụ na unu kpọrọ ha wee pụta eziokwu ndị ọcha na-edebe ahụ na ọ bụ ndị ojii bụ ihe na-ekwugheri isi na ha na-eme ngagharị iwe na ha dịka ha adịghị eleba anya n'ihe unu na-eme. Ọ bụrụ na ha hụ ndị ọcha n'etiti unu ha ga-ajụ onwe ha ajụjụ sị dị ka anyị na-emegide ndị isi ojii a otu aka ahụ anyị na-emegidekwa ndị ọcha ibe anyị. Ịgwa gị eziokwu ha ga-aga n'iru wee gbanwee obi ha ma mere anyị ihe nke anyị na-arịọ ha. Nke a bụ arịrịọ nke ndị otu Biafra Defenders Forum na-arịọ ndị niile nọ n'obodo ndị ọcha eme ngagharị iwe dị ka unu ga-eme ya. Biko ka ndị nwunye unu na ụmụ ndị ọcha ahụ niile unu mụrụ ka ha sonyere unu dịka unu na-eme ya bụ ngagharị iwe. Nke a bụ arịrịọ anyị na-arịọ unu maka na anyị enyogo anya nke ọma wee nyochapụta na ọ bụrụ na ndị a nwunye anyị a na ndị ụmụ anyị ndị a soro anyị wee mee ya bụ ngagharị iwe protest eziokwu na ọ ga-amịta ezigbo mkpụrụ na ihe dị iche ga-adịrịrị. Anyị ka na-agakwa n'iru wee na-agwa ndị Israel na ebe unu ga-agbakọta wee mee bido ngagharị iwu unu dị ka unu ga-emere ngagharị iwu unu wee gaba na British Embassy nke dị na Israel. Anyị na-arịọkwa unu n'otu aka ahụ ka unu merekwa ya gakwazie na Parliament nke ndị Israel n'otu aka ahụ ga-agwakwa ha ihe bụ ebumnobi unu ka unu werekwa n'otu aka ahụ gwa ha ka ha hapụrụ anyị Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ma hapụ anyị bụ ndị otu Biafra ka anyị laba n'ihi na ọ dịghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị mere obodo zu bụ obodo Naijiria. Dị ka mkpụrụ ụbọchị 20 nke ime ọnwa na-akpụdebe nso anyị na-echetara ma na-arịọ mmadụ niile na ụbọchị ahụ bụ ụbọchị akara aka n'ihi na ndị be anyị si na agha akara aka adịghị eri nwa ngwụrọ. Biko ekwekwela ka agha wee rie gị. Ị mara ihe ọ bụ na ị kwesịrị ime biko anyị na-arịọ gị ka ị wepụta oge n'ime ya bụ ihe dị ka isi wee kwesị ime ya. Biko ụbọchị ahụ anyị na-arịọ arịrịọ wee na-asị na Abuja agaghị akọcha ihe ọhụrụ na ụkwụ a ga-azụ n'ala Abuja n'ụbọchị ahụ na ala Abuja ga-agbari. N'ihi nke aka anyị na-arịọ mmadụ niile biko ụmụ ikorobịa niile na ụmụ agbọghọbịa niile onye ọbụla ga-apụta n'uju ma pụta n'ozuzu oke dị ka anyị ga-aga ala Abuja wee gagwa ụwa niile ma gwakwazi obodo zu bụ Naijiria na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bụ nna anyị na anyị kwụ ya n'azụ n'ime ihe ọbụla ebe ọbụla ọ na-eje ọ na-aga aga n'ala ala na anyị kwụ ya n'azụ ma kwụsie ya ike. Biko mmadụ niile pụta n'ozuzu oke ọkachasị ndị bi n'ala ugwu Awụsa. Anyị na-arịọ ka unu niile pụta n'ụbọchị ahụ a ga-aga n'ụlọ ikpe ma ga gosi nna anyị ukwu na eziokwu na anyị kwụ ya n'azụ. Dị ka ndị na-aga Abuja ga na-aga Abuja, ala anyị bụ ala Biafra ga-edere ji n'ụbọchị ahụ. Onweghị mmadụ ọbụla ga-apụta ilo n'ụbọchị ahụ. Onweghị ahịa ọbụla a ga-azụ, onweghị akwụkwọ ọbụla a ga-agụ, onweghị ụlọ ọrụ oyibo ọbụla ga-emepe, onweghị ụlọ ọrụ ọbụla nke mmadụ nkịtị nwe ga-emepe. Anyị na-arịọ na ebe niile ga-edere ji, ya bụ lockdown n'asụsụ bekee. Ka anyị na-arịọ ka onye ọbụla lockdown nọdụ n'ime be gị apụtakwa n'iro mbọsị ahụ. Otu aka ha anyị na-arịọ ndị na-akpọ ụgbọala ọbụnagodi ka ọdụ ụgbọala unu bụrụ ebe ga-akpọchi n'ụbọchị ahụ. Ọ dịghị ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ ịhụ n'okporo ụzọ. Nke a bụ arịrịọ nke a na-arịọ mmadụ niile. Biko rube isi wee nye arịrịọ nke a na-arịọ gị ka o wee dịrị gị mma. A sịkwala na mmadụ agwara gị ihe nke aka anyị na-arịọ gị ka irube isi wee nye okwu a ka ị ghara iti ngaramara. Biko o nwere okwu nke onye isi anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwuba oge niile. Ya bụ okwu na-atọ m nnukwute ụtọ mgbe ọbụla ọ na-ekwu ya bụ okwu. Ọ na-ekwu sị eluigwe zie m ozi ezie m ndị dị ndụ. N'otu aka ahụ ihe anyị nọ n'ụlọ ọrụ anyị n'ụlọ mgbasa ozi Biafra Defenders Forum bụ ezie anyị ozi anyị enye aka zie ya ndị mmadụ. Ọ bụrụ na o nwere otu onye amụma zikwara anyị ozi n'oge a wee rịọ ka anyị rịọ mmadụ niile o nwere obere ekpere nke ọ chọrọ ka mmadụ niile wee mee. Ọ sị na dị ka a ga-ebido wee mebe ekpere ahụ na a ga-amalite ime ya bụ ekpere ma ọ bụrụ na ọnwa Julaị ya nke anyị nọ n'ime ya dị na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 24. Ọ dị na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 24 ka anyị ga-amalite wee mebe ya bụ ekpere. Ọ sịrị na ya bụ ekpere ga-amalite ma ọkụ ha na
Biafra mala ya obuti babulu doriji tinje pewoli pada bawo kutuku aje meyeme akuwa ne kuoku igbo turilu na wanu gwemba ola bendi waya Nigeria bye bye lo Biafra lago.
Igbo na Biafra Defenders Forum Kano n'oguguruchi a ikaira nabata gị n'oguguruchi a Igbo ndị ọma ga-adịrị mma Igbo ndị Chukwu okike abịa makere nke ọma ụmụ ọma gọziri agọzi ihe kwuru ka a na-eme eziokwu adịrị ya n'ọnụ
It's 1943.
I want to speak to you people, please. I'm also a Nigerian. I live in Vienna. I seek asylum here in Vienna, and I'm living here for over so many years. And you people are representing a terrorist organization, a terrorist government. You Nigerian youth should be very ashamed of yourselves. Every one of you here should be very, very ashamed of yourself. I will speak to you. This can't happen in another European country that their youth are representing a government. Stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet. A football team should know that we are suffering the youth of Nigeria. Over 10 million Nigerian youth are abroad doing nothing. And you people who are supposed to know the truth are representing a terrorist organization called Buhari, kidnapping citizens, killing youths. Excuse me, stay quiet, Mr. Man. I'm speaking, I'm not causing any problem. Do you understand? I am speaking to these youths who have refused to recognize. No, I will. If you touch me, I will call the police on you. If you touch me, I will call the police on you. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. If anyone who touch me will get the police. This is Vienna, Austria. This is not a third world country. This is not a third world country. You motherfuckers, you are representing a government which are killing their people. You cannot be ashamed of yourself. Don't push me. When you touch me, it's strict dick here. You asshole. Don't touch me. Go away. This is a democratic nation. This is not a third world. I'm living in Vienna. I pay my tax. I live here. So I'm calling on you, you idiots. Go back home. Don't represent. Be ashamed of yourself. Look at you. Look at you. Look at how you are. You represent a government which is calling. You are from Switzerland. I saw you a few days ago. You are a new citizen. I don't think this is how it's done in Switzerland. You are representing a terrorist. You should be ashamed of yourself. Lekki youths were killed. Over 200 youths were killed in Lekki Peninsula, and you are representing a terrorist organization calling yourself Eagles players. You should be ashamed of yourself, every one of you. I'm making this video. You touch me, you are in pain. Don't touch my legs. If you touch me, I'll put a mark. I want them to see my face. Look at you, look at you. I know you're Hausa Fulani. I know you're Fulani. Kachilan duli uwaki. Kagane ko. Kachilan duli uwaki. Sengia maka. Ku terrorist you don't understand what the suffering you Nigerians are going through, and you are representing a terrorist organization. You should be the ones. You should be the ones to be afraid. You should be the ones to fight for your youth. You should be the ones to fight for every one of you who is love to touch me. When then two banker is then two banker. I'm telling you, you're idiots. Every one of you should be ashamed. I'm not I live here. Look at you. You have no reason. Every one of you should be ashamed of yourself. I will video myself. I'm not afraid. Every one of you, I played for Julius Berger. The corruption in Nigeria drove me here. I'm a footballer also. I played for Nigerian Julius Berger. The corruption in the country brought me here, and I'm here suffering. You two should stand for your youth, are conniving with a terrorist organization to represent the government which is killing your people. You lived in Switzerland all your life. Is that how? I lived 1 year in Switzerland. I know how it is. And you are representing a dirty country which have no future, criminals. You should be ashamed of yourself, every one of you. I will post it. You will see this video. Look at Super Eagles. You call your name Super Eagles or the Falcon. You should be ashamed of yourself, every one of you. You live. I have a good life. I have a good life. Ask me if you're sincere. To change the system, this is what I'm doing to change the system. Yeah. I'm doing it to shame you people who don't know what is it to be a citizen, who don't know what is it to fight for a country. You are living in a country where the president is a kidnapper, kidnapping and killing its citizens. You are empty. You are empty in your head. If you are not empty, you will stand by me. I will put this thing is going to the. You will see it. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Yeah, police will wait for me. I don't disturb you. I am free to protest. Police will wait for me. It's not my housewife. No, I don't attack. I didn't touch anybody. I have a video. I never touch anybody. No, it's allowed. It's allowed. It's allowed. You're a criminal, idiot. Catch it and do the work. I'm fulani. You idiot. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you have conscience, you stand by the truth. What? The problem is it's been from Nigeria. Warte, bitte. Hab mir gefragt, bist du? You should be ashamed of yourself to lie. Ich bin gewutet, wirklich. Ich bin wütend. Ich gehe nicht mehr.
Ihre politische Situation interessiert mich. Ja? Wir sind alle in Österreich.
Ja.
Ich
habe gefragt, warum kann der Youth mit... I cannot even speak now. I'm really mad of these motherfuckers here who call themselves youth.
Ich muss die Polizei hören. Alle beschweren sich.
Now, Yoruba nation, you had a team. To everybody's greatest surprise. But the name now Cholo Yoruba nation, Dike Nigeria name here. Now watch your video, watch your autos we go see how many. If any Nigerian police in army medebebo, iputana bahambili because Basasiano. Also, so from what I click as the 40 years ago, you know, and I said not stray bullet to them. But they did not come out to kill those people. Try Yana just Umoklobi will put on actually nation. I am telling you, I got 1 pieces. Madam, less than 100 they got to weather. What get the difference? Difference ebona ndị Yoruba mala na dia elites ndị bụ ndị ọlụlụ n'okwu ga-akwụ ụmụ ha n'azụ and ha ga-anọ ife mekwa na ndị a mafa na emetia mafa dị emetia. They will fight and protect their own. Kedu ife bata na Fulani herdsmen na-awanyalị n'ọfịa na-aga n'obodo na slọta ndị mmadụ na-egbuwasị ndị mmadụ isi. Gịnị kpata na wee luo tata na aka akpọrọ n'afa terrorist organization? Why? Because na ndị befa ma how to protect their own. Our misguided brothers that we need to, you know, call them to order, you know. No, our misdirected brothers. So he said, federal government if I get a all of cattle route, Uzo Efagisiaga, open a family, rice, hataya, and the secondary compensation. If any government in the Bible is to defend them, federal government has never come out to condemn the Fulani herdsmen. Why? Because Nnamdi then Boko Haram, get it go away before we declare Boko Haram terrorist organization. Make the boogie take the over local government. Before I went there, today they still protect their own. Oh yeah, but Boko Haram na ofu facility. Then warfare, nenefa bread and tea. Bido skuzibel fa akwụkwọ 6 months ga ekpopụtafa yinyefa uniform say ha foto wepụtara anya anyị na-ekilifa ebe ha si uniform ndị Boko Haram ejide ndị a na-egbu mmadụ na-egbutọsị mmadụ asị na ederadicalize gofa then ekpolu ụfọdụ mefa send ndị afọ obodo oyibo ka fajeje gụọ akwụkwọ ewelụzọ ndị ọzọ kpefa na Nigerian army sị ha jee na army ka jere n'ụbazọ ha adịgo mma ha abụrọzi na ha echegharịgo.
otu aka esi handle fa. The same Nigerian government jide ndị IPOB ede ndị IPOB awụ ha zam anwe ha na sel ndị agbagburu agbagbu ndị nri afọ ebe ya edebe apịtị atụ ha n'ime apịtị ha na-atụrụkọ n'ime apịtị. You dehumanize them, you mess them up, you do all manner of things to them, and then reason bụrụ na ndị elites ndị Igbo a na-akụrụ ndị federal gọọmenti agasa na ụnụ na try ụnụ anwa aka. Because the Igbo man does not know how to protect his own. He has what values for the Nkefa. Ndị ọzọ niile ana can go see na Bible. Can go see something na Bible. Ana ekwubugo ihe anụ mgbe anyị na-lay foundation for the kings of Israel. And for the benefit of our viewers, ndị adị eso eberela anyị n'oge. Can go see an event na obodo Israel. O nwere one man bụ onye a Levite, only Levi. In fact, this story in Judges chapter 9 to 21. One.
It's time to break loose from the chains. It's time for our freedom. Africa. Cause we can never let them negotiate our freedom, no. Hundreds of years is gone. No Messiah came for the black man. Told us that Jesus died for us, for the black man still they suffer. The truth we say, Africa will rise at the right time. And the time we're waiting for is right now. No one can hold the truth for a long time. Oh no. So stay away. The sun is risen from the east. And the Messiah you're waiting is right here. And no one is gonna try to stop that. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom. Let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, song of salvation. Freedom. Let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Self-determination is celebrated. Black men seeking for self-determination is the separatists and the terrorists. Yeah. When they jail a black freedom fighter, they jailing African freedom. Don't I have rights to my self-determination? Is that a crime? Don't I have rights to live? Don't I have rights to express myself? Don't I have rights to speak? Can't I complain if I'm marginalized? There's genocide in the land that nobody even cared about. Even when I try to speak, my voice is muted every time. I'm like a slave in my land. I can take it anymore. I hope the world is listening to my plight. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, the song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa.
Jewishness.
Hallelujah, Kemo Kama. Hallelujah, Kemo Kama.
Announcement. There will be 3 days fasting and prayer from Friday the 23rd to Sunday the 25th day of July 2021 for IPOB/Biafrans worldwide. 10. O Lord God of Daniel, show forth thy power on behalf of Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu and Biafrans worldwide. The book of Daniel, chapter 6, 22 to 24. Duration of fast shall be as follows. Category A, 3 days dry fasting. Category B, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Category C, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Category D, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. daily. Category E, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. daily. Category F, 4 p.m. to the following morning daily. Category G, 1 hour only daily. Children, old people, and those on medication are all inclusive. This message was prepared by Evangelist Uzak Nwokike, Pastor Frederick Nwohia, Pastor Chris Wise, Evangelist Daniel Chukwu, Archbishop David Benedict, and this message was signed by Mazi Oscar Okeke, head of IPOB Religious Affairs Committee. Biafrans, the Bible said, if the people that are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face in prayer, I am the Lord, I will answer, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be free. Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now.
Hallelujah, Kemo Kama.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio. Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from our low province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 16th day of July in the year of our Lord 2021. Without wasting much time, we are going direct to the head of the Directorate of States, Mazi Edoziem, to give us the briefing. Mazi, you are welcome. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mazi Jonathan, and good evening from here. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to all of you great Biafrans all over the world, depending